Intended target was Corey Coleman, and that'll bring up second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And for right side here, complete. And out across midfield, down to the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. They'll look to throw here. And he rifles one incomplete.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he is all the way up past the 25. He's had his interception woes early in his rookie season, but sometimes that happens. There are great examples of guys in the past that have had those same struggles early.
You are so correct, and what the team and organization is hoping, we're going to see these woes now, but later when we're helping him with his Hall of Fame speech, we'll remember his rookie year and how things began.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football. And the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
On 3rd down, it's Brown. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Shedding the tackle. Refusing to go down. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for them there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense, and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got a bike. He just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. This is Gordon on the dump off. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. But they face a second and long to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. Defensively, it was Tremont Smith with the tackle.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Now back to throw. Steps away to his left. He may try and run, and he lost the football. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Now it's Brown. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. Nothing conservative about that play call. You said earlier in the quarter you wanted to see them open things up, maybe take some shots downfield. There you go.
Yeah, and that one was successful. But even if they're not successful, when you take those shots downfield, they've got to back off a little bit, loosen up a little bit on defense, and give you a little bit more room if you want to run the football.
Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
Gun! 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 All right, here we go.
To throw on second down. Nicholson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Cohen. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll run it with Cohen. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and this will remain a scoreless game. So 2 missed field goals for him now, and that's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face a 3rd down. Now this time he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. one to the 23-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They're going to look to throw. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And his kick is good. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So after 2 unsuccessful attempts, this time he's able to find the range, and he gets his guys the lead.
And we wondered whether those 2 misses would come back to haunt him. They still might, but at least he's able to get some sort of redemption and get his guys back in front.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Here we go now.
On 1st and 10, Nicholson. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Gun! Set! 3-19! 3-19!
A final shot before break. Nicholson looking deep downfield. And this one is incomplete. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Gun!
He has been interception prone here in his rookie season. How patient can they be with him?
That is the key question, isn't it? A lot of it depends on the head coach, what type of defense you have, and just a general understanding of the makeup of him. But the bottom line is you posed a great question. Are they at the stage where they've run out of patience and now they get to demand production? Or do you continue to stay with him this way?
On second down, Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They've been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
From the gun on third down, Nicholson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And Butker able to put this one through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they come away from this opening drive of the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They run. This is Cohen. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It was Matthew Adams who got him down on the defensive side.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
He'll rifle this one deep right. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 16. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Detroit!
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19. 3:19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw on second down. Nicholson. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Well, from what we've seen thus far, this is not a formula for winning football. When you have more turnovers than points scored, that's a tough way to try and win a game.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he stopped immediately there. Chris Jones on the stop.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 40. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Detroit! Detroit!
To throw on 2nd down. Nicholson being chased out left. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
A give. This is Kamara. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They run it again with Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Nicholson. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through, picking up the first.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
They'll run. This is Brown. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now it's the backup Kaiser. And his first throw here is incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara. Third down here. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On third down, Nicholson dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. Well, we still wait on the first touchdown of the game, but a second field goal now makes it a 6-3 score.
Yeah, I know a lot of people would call this the definition of winning ugly. To me, this is gorgeous. I'm a defender, right? I love these kind of games. The tension is high. Who's going to make the play to win it? And right now, that field goal may be the advantage they need.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And give him a gain of 37. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 25. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 25. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They'll run it here with Brown. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Now they try the right side here. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. got you now, Barney. Barney.
They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Now a handoff looking right. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, second and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal.
Ohio! Ohio! Let's go! What? None!
They'll try to throw here. Kaiser forced out to his left. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Butker now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. Back to throw. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time. And now it's second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Off the play fake. Nicholson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I got to get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator?